Good afternoon. I am Sonti Mallikasreesonti, educational counselor, child psychologist consultant. I am here today for the discussion of assessment process. What are the backbones? What are the supporting backbones? That is, to conduct the assessment process for the child, we have the checklist for the child's assessment procedure. So, in the special education, as early as possible, that is quite essential. The opinion, it will be taken only based on the assessment. So, to conduct assessment process, we have checklist. And in the daily life, in any child's life, if the child's growth and development is delayed, we have to see what are the causes. And naturally, child will be taken to the pediatrician. Or if any another associated health problems are there, high temperature, any epileptic attacks, so naturally the medical expert opinion will be focused. So this is why the assessment process is playing very important role in the educational system. It is to meet the special needs of the child. It is to support for the child's all-round development in the life as early as possible. If it is detected, it is very helpful to the parents, and so that they can have the confidence with the support provided by the multidisciplinary experts, medical experts, and the trained professionals, consultants. And as I just now mentioned, even in the earlier episodes also, we were focusing on the speech and language problems, hyperactivity, any hearing problems, any motor problems. So for all this, the experts' opinion, it plays very important role, as if it is concerned with the medical point of view. Supporting features are for the pediatrician and the speech and language pathologist, physiotherapist, occupational therapist. They are having their own case history taking pro forma, and the medical and psychiatric social worker, he is the person who will be taking the family history. He is the liaison between the family and the team members. You all must be knowing, as we have in our Hyderabad, NIMS and National Institute for the Mentally Handicapped. Everywhere, multidisciplinary experts are there, and also research and voluntary organizations. They're having these medical and psychiatric social workers and physiotherapists, clinical psychologists, speech and language therapists, occupational therapists. So these are all the major areas who all are playing the role to meet the multidisciplinary needs of the child. So let us see, in the initial state, as we are seeing, dear viewers, as you are daily watching my live video show, I am very happy to speak about The child psychologist necessity and also educational counselor in the regular school and also special schools to have the child's on-road development to prepare him a future citizen of the country. Once the child is able to have his own self-confidence in the family and naturally in the society, he will be a dignified person. So this gives the pleasure and satisfaction to the family also. And coming to the schools, regular schools, school teachers, they do have their own skills. They are also trained. Even the special schools, there are trained teachers, special educationists, and the courses are sponsored by the government of India. Curriculum also is meeting the child's needs, both practical and theoretical aspects. But here, the consultant support is very essential for the teachers as to have regular evaluations of the child's progress in their rehabilitation process. And even in the regular schools, the resource person, some school managements, they say educational counselor is a resource person who will be meeting the teachers and school management, head of the institutions as the guest faculty person and will be having meetings both with the teachers and parents to see the healthy development of the child, to see the child's progress in a systematic manner. So, dear viewers, today's assessment checklist, as we are going to focus, this is very essential, as everybody must be thinking, is there any supporting system to take the assessment process? Yes, we have. As based on our Indian conditions, we have Indian adaptation scales. As, for example, I mentioned with regard to the early stage of life, that is before completing the school age itself, starting from the early period. So, as the developmental period 0 to 18, wherein the development starts and it will not stop at one place. So, that is what we all are sure. Let us see the developmental screening test as we have Vinneland Social Maturity Scale. For this, we have Indian adaptation by Mallin's scale. Here, we have to see the child's social skills, how far the child is having social skills adjustment, and adaptation means to get adjusted in the environment, and the adaptive behavior, that means to meet his family, to meet his self-care, to meet his personal life as others they have. So, dear teachers and dear parents and viewers, we are discussing these scales, adaptive scales, Vinneland Social Maturity Scale, that is based for our Indian conditions. It is adapted by Mallin's. We have the scale. Here, at the early stage, months baby, once we see, as in the introductory session, we just focus the word developmental delay. That means, for example, I'll just focus what is the developmental delay. If the milestones are not meeting up to the mark, starting from the neck holding, turning the head on both the sides, rolling over on the bed and sitting with support and standing with support, then coming to the independent standing position, then walking. So these are the motor developmental milestones. If any delay is there, kindly please make a note. I'm saying please, if there is any delay, the parent they may be having question, why, what is happening? The child is not meeting the milestones in the motor developmental part, movements. So again, simple tips. In most of the families, elders, the mother, she will take her parents' support. I mean to say grandparents' support. They will be giving the necessary guidance to this mother, like the milestones in the human life. These are the things. It has to be there in so and so period as 3 months, fourth month, fifth month, up to 1 year. So they will be guiding the mother. When the mother is able to follow that, when the child is showing the milestones on time, it's well and good. But if any delay is there, they have to, family need to have a support. If no elder people are there, naturally they have to approach the general physician, pediatrician, or experts. It so happens. So we may not neglect the situation. Parents, they may be educated, they are highly qualified, but still, in some situations, it so happens they cannot take a decision as how to go further step, what to be taken. And high temperature, even high temperature, it is there, it is not getting controlled, that high fever. Then again, if the child has any severe weakness along with the temperature, epileptic attacks, there also nervous system gets affected. So such conditions, the pediatrician advice is essential. They must immediately approach. So now let us see, as we are giving focus along with the medical information in this checklist. As months progresses, third month, social smart, then fourth month, the child can reach objects and the child can identify the parent, and coming to sixth month, ninth month, the progress will be seen by the mother and making sounds, two letter sounds, da da, ma ma. These are the sounds. Initially the child starts making sounds. Then 1 year, at least one word, as we are speaking about these two letter words, the child starts. Here mother, father, they are the models, role models. They'll make the child, they'll encourage. And standing with support, how far the child is trying with encouragement to stand with support and standing independently. The child must be given confidence. Then again, holding the glass, holding the glass with support in his hand. Then again 1.5 year, 18 months, then up to 24 months. The child can hold a small glass can drink water and biscuit, any say a small piece of eatables like whether it is pulka, roti, like that we have to slowly start. And these are the areas. Then again, the child can be given opportunity to point at his body parts, nose, eyes, head, ears. So the identification. We have to focus the identification of body parts, showing the hands. Show me your hand, show me your head. Like this, mothers, they can be a very good role model in any child's family. Parents they are the first teachers. Then only we speak about the society. So these are the areas in this developmental screening test. We have Miniland social maturity scale. We have this social skills adaptive behavior. Then another thing, as we are simultaneously discussing about developmental screening test, that we have our Indian adaptation developed by Bharti Raj. So here up to school age, here the self-care point of view, holding the brush, starting the brushing activity in the early stage starts from 3 years. Toilet indication, toilet training starts. Then again, listening to the instructions given by the parents and starts going to the school, so that the child's day-to-day adaptive behavior, adaptation skills in the motor area, social area, and self-care area, toilet training, bathing skills, eating skills, dressing skills, and grooming skills like wearing shoe, slippers on the correct feet. These are all will be given by these skills will be given training by the mother. Simultaneously, child starts attending his early preschool age. At least for half day, they'll be starting to attend play school. Then up to 6 years, the half a day session, it is given very good exposure for the child. So the child's progress, it is very fruitful once the proper training is taken by the family. And the delayed development for those areas wherein we have to focus, is there any delay in the speech or hearing, and again any walking problem is there if the child is not able to walk. Based on this checklist, Viniland social maturity scale, developmental screening test, we have immediate program will be planned in this assessment process. So checklist must be definitely utilized by the experts and by the consultants, and parents, they have to take the support as for the child's future development, day-to-day life, independent living, independent performance of the child. Like in the family environment, whether the child is able to eat her own food independently, or the mother, she has to mix the food and feed the child. Here we have to think. So we start as early as possible. As I mentioned, just at the age of 3 years, 2.5 years itself, mostly children, they'll start holding the glass and drink the water. And again, if the piece of biscuit is given in the hand, child will be able to feel happy and starts eating. So this is what parents, they'll have satisfaction. But if the child is having delay, not able to cope up for these simple skills, there the situation comes problem. So they have to make alterations. So alternate situation is they have to take the advice how to go about. As we already discussed about the elder people, grandparents, based on their experiences, how they brought up the all the family people, and in the same way they guide these grandchildren also. But if they are not available, naturally, it so happens they have to approach the professionals. And the hearing process, hearing process, whether the child is able to hear with both the ears or the child is uh, responding, reacting whenever the name is called at the early stage, that is fine. When the child is developing as per the age, but the response is poor, or only on one side the child is looking at the parent. Maybe if one ear is having hearing capacity. So as the child progresses in the age, the parent they have to get it checked. Or if the child is having any pain in the ear, and they have to see the child's situation, and any pus is there, that will be creating a doubt. They have to approach the medical expert, and no response at all means what is the real problem the child facing. So time to time, as the child's age progresses, parents they have to be little bit alert with regard to the high fever, any epileptic attacks, and coming to walking style. Is there any problem? Not able to walk independently, and again the child's response to express the words or letters. There also the child needs expert advice. And there is another situation. If the child has drooling, drooling problem, the saliva the child may not take into the mouth. The child may not close the mouth. The child need to give the continuous instructions. That also happens. So there are some tips to be given by the to the parent by the experts. This is what multidisciplinary professional experts. They will give the advice. They support the family, and the services must be always utilized with proper cooperation and regular contacts. There must not be any gaps, because as the developmental period in the child's life is very important, then only the child can be a very good healthy person in the family and also in the society. Then coming to other checklists for children with autism, we have checklists. Autism, that is the condition. Here, these children they have their own world. The social response of the child it is very limited. In this, we have to identify autism features of the children. Indian scale. We have Indian scale for assessment of autism, as it was developed and followed by all of us from National Institute of Mentally Handicapped, National Institute, that is the governmental body, Government of India, National Institute for the Mentally Handicapped, as they are having very, very successful programs for the early childhood stage identification of the problems and rehabilitation services. And in the same way, even some research centers, volunteer organizations, they too have these multidisciplinary experts, as these are all based on early intervention. It is called early intervention program. Early intervention program. That is, as I mentioned, as early as possible, the program is identified. The child will be given the immediate services. Parent as a co-therapist. The program will be supported. Here in this Indian scale for autism, we have social relationship of the child and how the child is reciprocating and the emotional responses. Then how far the child's speech and language communication skills do they have as per the age, or do they have any delay? Then how far the child's behavioral patterns are reacting to the family and to the peer group, and sensory skills of the child, smell, taste, five senses, and hearing capacity, as we have five senses highlighting. Then any cognitive component, do they have any delay in the responses? That is to the orientation of the immediate environment, cognitive components, whether they are able to identify the familiar objects in the environment. That is quite essential. And identifying the familiar people, family members, peer group. So these are all the checklists we have. Then in the special need based education, we have individualized educational program. To plan it, we have FACP checklist as developed by the National Institute for the Mentally Handicapped. Special schools they are following, and Madras Developmental Program System, that is also quite popular. In our Indian conditions, we have checklists, and based on that, the program, once the assessment process is over, program will be developed and regular planning and evaluation will be taken with the support of the consultants, and parents will be given the regular feedback, and home follow-ups are quite essential. And in the same way, regular schools also, we have this one checklist as developed by Rajiv Vidya Mission. Hearing impairment, visual impairment, cerebral palsy, and persons with mental retardation. There is checklist as Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. They are having the resource persons, trained persons. They are making it successfully in the state government level also. So both special schools, regular schools, everywhere we must support these children. Dear viewers, kindly see these checklists are playing very important role. Kindly, if you come across the children with special needs and any learning difficulties, children are there, kindly support the families. I am available at TUTORSPRIDE on every alternate days. The time is 3:30 to 4. Kindly, you can make my services available. I am there to support the children educational system to have a successful educational life. Thank you. If you like it, share the video with others also, and give your comments in the comment box.